Xavier on that side. Stu Holloway, A10 Player of the Year, a 20-point scorer. Keep that in mind as you see him clank that one. That first half, 0 of 5 from the field.
But look at the lane. Look at the jerseys of Marquette in there, taking away every move. They're challenging the shots. They're challenging the penetration. A great defensive game plan by Marquette.
It was. And guess what, Tom? When you look at the other Xavier players, no spacing for them when Stu Holloway is trying to penetrate.
Now, great defense by Marquette, which starts the offense. Darius Johnson-Odom with the finish. Marquette up by 13 at the break. Johnson-Odom then a wide-open 3 on the other end of the floor in the second half. Quickly up by 18.
Marquette executed very well in their half-court offense. This was not the kind of up-and-down game that, frankly, I envisioned. Marquette shot 53% from the field, and they were in absolute control throughout the second half. Xavier managed to cut it to 9, but Marquette kept pursuing the basketball. They were -5 on the boards in terms of the rebounding, but they just shot the ball so well, and their defense on Stu Holloway. I mean, they just made the decision. Stu Holloway is not going to beat us. Let's make somebody else beat us. Mark Lyons had 3 fouls in the first half, never got into a rhythm, and this was really never. That score is not even as indicative of what kind of a blowout this really was.
The explosiveness of Darius Johnson-Odom, Dwight Bikes, Jimmy Butler, it was alive and well tonight for Marquette. They're going to be tough on Sunday.
Very impressed with Butler.
Holloway finished 1 of 8 from the field. Indiana State, Syracuse Orange. Rick Jackson become a focus for the Orange in this game. He is big, and he's got some skills in there against the Sycamores. Brandon Trish to C.J. Fair.
I love watching Brandon Trish plays. You cannot speed him up, plays at his pace. He does all the little things, and he understands what the Syracuse offense needs, and defensively, he's very solid.
That's what Jim Boeheim said afterward. He was worried about the Sycamore team that can shoot the basketball. Not necessarily shoot like Jake Odom does here, but shoot the basketball. That's a trick shot more than anything. Second half, Dion Waiters to Jackson. 7 of 13 from the field. He had 23.
He's big. That inside
explosive, multi-dimensional player. He can step outside. He's very good around the rim. Outstanding defender.
Late in the game, Scoop Jardine kind of fell on that left wrist, holding it there on the bench. Syracuse told Marty Snyder that he'll be okay, but we'll update that for you tomorrow here at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on True TV. Syracuse wins it 77-60 as Jackson is the big man for the Orange. Georgia and Washington. Isaiah Thomas will get it going. He can cover some ground in a hurry.
He has his basketball on the string. Very strong lefty, gets to the cup. You know what? He controlled the pace of this game. The Washington Huskies team, got a hiccup. Only had 5 turnovers.
Well, Trey Thompson really had his way in the middle. That's going to be something to watch for coming up. And you know when Travis Leslie gets out in the open floor, he's getting way above the rim. One of the great athletes in college basketball. But this was few and far between for Georgia. Give credit to Washington for taking care of the basketball. Only 5 turnovers the entire game. Only 2 from Isaiah Thomas. I love the fact that Isaiah Thomas took 7 free throws, made all 7, and only 2 free throws. And Washington slugged it out in a half-court game with Georgia, moved the ball well, fought, pursued the basketball, and came out with a very impressive victory.
Georgia's not done. Gerald Robinson, that's a tough cut to the rim. 3-point game. Trey Tompkins. He'll bury that 3.
Only down 2.
Living up to his name, Trey cuts it to 2. C.J. Wilcox makes the first free throw, misses the second. We've got just enough time for a little scramble and a heave. Washington escapes. 68-65. Georgia had just 9 assists to their 15 turnovers.
Again, the job Isaiah Thomas did for a young man that has the ball in his hands as much as he does. To have 7 assists, 2 turnovers, and a pace of game that way, very impressive.
Remember, this is a team that lost their other quality guard in Abdul Ghadi to a knee injury about 6 weeks ago, and really haven't missed a beat. Very impressive.
Washington's bench, 28 points. Georgia's bench, 0.
North Carolina, the Tar Heels take the floor against Long Island. The Blackbirds, Dexter Strickland to John Henson to finish. Oh, wait, watch the footing.
Be careful. He's long. He had a game.
Very impressive. John Henson has a double-double. Harrison Barnes has a double-double. Tyler Zeller gets 32 and 9. Kendall Marshall, 10 assists. It's a stat sheet stuffer night for them.
Julian Boyd here. Kenny Onyetchi makes the layup to tie it up at 33. Harrison Barnes, steal. He's in the open floor. He'll finish.
The thing you got to like about this team, though, with a point guard like Kendall Marshall, 10 assists in this game, he knows how to find Tyler Zeller and John Henson around that basket.
Career night for John Henson.
You know, I was impressed with John Henson. Only shoots like 47% from the free throw line. He went 8 of 10. Also with 6 block shots.
Jason Brickman and C.J. Garner there, and they cut the lead to 12, but Barnes with a floater, Henson then to Zeller. Working well together. It's a 14-point advantage. Then Kendall Marshall to Zeller. The bump, the bucket. 16-point advantage, and North Carolina gets into triple digits to win it, 102-87. They're the second team in the last 20 years to have 3 players score 24-plus points in a single tourney game. Illinois, UNLV, trying to get there. They bought their peeps. Dimitri McCamey. Look at him find Mike Davis.
Much else.
They got off to such a great start. When they can get out in transition, and especially when those two, Dimitri McCamey and Mike Davis, are locked in and loaded, they're a very dangerous team, and tonight they were.
Davis with the steal there, and here's the line out and running again. McCamey behind the back to Davis.
So important that Illinois get off to the start that they did, because UNLV, not a good three-point shooting team, not the kind of team that could play from behind. They played from behind all night, and they never did catch up and never even came close to catching up.
Well, they're a veteran team, and their veterans played with a lot of moxie tonight, a lot of perseverance throughout the year. And when they deliver like that, they're very, very talented, and they play efficiently. Good things happen for Illinois.
McCamey with the pull-up three-pointer to beat the halftime buzzer. Second half, more of the same from McCamey. Jim Arrange, you might say.
Almost got through the day without saying Jimmer. Had to get that one.
Just beat the buzzer. McCamey goes for 17.
And one note, guys, about Illinois, their freshman forward, Jeremy Richmond, did not play in this game. He was suspended for violating team rules. They have not indicated whether or not he's going to play in their next game against Kansas. They haven't said one way or another. Leads me to believe that he is going to play, that it's not a long-term suspension. They obviously did not miss him tonight.
Well, so I guess Kansas is going to win this next highlight then.
I'm sorry, did I give that away?
You gave it away, the 16-1 game against Boston.
If you're up that late watching the show and you don't know that, you need to go to bed.
The Morris twins, Boston, you set to start their tourney. John Holland.
We've been waiting for Todd Bridges to come on. We got basketball highlights for a little while.
Marcus Morris baseline for the lay-in. Man, these guys are good, these Morrises.
Yeah, they are.
They look so much alike.
And they play a lot.
It's like there are 2 of them. Terriers didn't care.
Good recovery.
I don't care if you're the Big 12 Player of the Year.
Well, what's impressive about the Morris twins, right here you see it. They are relentless on the backboards. And they didn't even dominate the offensive glass like they usually do. That's what sets them apart.
Marcus was 7 of 13. Markeith, 5 of 10. And on the run, Josh Selby, Brady Morningstar, beautiful finish. Kansas by 11. Next possession.
With the little Brady. With the reverse.
It's Morningstar to Selby, who will finish 1 on 3.
That's nice.
And they go with the way the Morris twins go. 31 and 17 for the Twins. Impressive night.
And now they're knocking down threes.
Well, you see Selby's ability.
That's a wrap.
He's been parked on the. That's a wrap. Yeah, trying to give away the suspense, everybody. But you know, you look at Josh Selby's line: 15 minutes, 4 points, 2 for 6 in a 16-1 blowout. The guy came in with such hype, and obviously the team hasn't missed a beat without him.
Georgetown and VCU, and welcome back Chris Wright. Georgetown guard missed 3 games after breaking his hand in February, but in uniform, available, and on the floor against VCU. Hollis Thompson, big finish.
Hollis Thompson had a great night, but VCU, my goodness, they just continue to get better as this tournament goes on.
Nice play by Hollis Thompson, driving the lane, finishing with a nice dunk.
That's where it looked like they might have a chance to play in this, because they attacked the pressure in such a good way, but that was one of the few times they attacked the pressure.
Brandon Rizal, Joey Rodriguez both knocked down threes, and the guys with the horns on their heads loving life. Their team up 35-24 at half. Second half, VCU continues. They loosed upon the Hoyas a barrage of threes.
I think Georgetown really got sucked into playing the kind of up-tempo game VCU likes to play. Really disrupted by VCU's speed, especially in the half court. Georgetown finished with 17 turnovers. They've had a tendency to turn over the ball for most of the season. I think they played right into VCU's hands, tried to run with them, tried to gun with them, and they got outgunned tonight.
Well, and the sharing of the basketball by VCU was a huge part of it on offense because they got a ton of great looks, and they knocked them down.
Joey Rodriguez, your guy.
Another good night. He had 7 assists.
So VCU moves on. St. Peter's and Purdue. Big Ten Player of the Year, Juwan Johnson. Man, he gets up high above the rim. Look at where he caught that ball.
Glad he's a senior, right? Equan Moore is a senior, too. It's all good news.
Devon Raymond for St. Peter's. Big finish for the Peacocks there. And then Ryan Bacon comes from nowhere to get Ryan Smith.
Yeah, that's not Ryan Smith's game right there. Ryan Smith's one of the better three-point shooters.
Johnson sets up Tyrone Johnson.
Tyrone Johnson played 25 minutes tonight. Remember, they don't have Kelsey Barlow the rest of the way, so Tyrone Johnson getting a little bit more run than he might otherwise have had.
Lewis Jackson gets it to the hoop. Purdue up by 23.
Lewis Jackson is a huge part of their team because Equan Moore and Juwan Johnson are averaging 38 points between the two of them. When Lewis Jackson scores, they're a special team.
Was that a great moment?
It was a great moment for
Yes.
St. Peter's and head coach John Dunn as their season ends at the hands of the Purdue Boilermakers, who win it 65-43. Juwan Johnson goes for 16 and 16 more, 19 points for the Boilers. Florida State, Texas A&M. Chris Singleton back in the fold for the Seminoles. Broke his foot in February. Special insert into the shoe and ready to go against the Aggies. B.J. Holmes the floater, but Terrence Shannon has the answer there.
Well, when you go back and watch the film, which I'm sure Mark Turgeon's done, he can point out to his team that there were numerous opportunities for them to make the next pass out, not try to score on those guys in the lane and not try to attack the shot blockers. There was too much of that for Texas A&M.
Nathan Walkup with the three there. There's Singleton, who checks into the game for the Seminoles. Let's see, how's that touch looking?
Impact on the game right away. Nice square up, nice jump shot. You know, he wreaks havoc on the defensive end. And then when you look at this play for Texas A&M, I just love when a point guard penetrates, understands situation, kicks it out to a fellow teammate for a wide open three.
Yeah, Chris Middleton's a good young player, too. He's got size, he's got skill to put it on the deck. But Florida State just too big, too athletic inside. They had 10 blocks on the game. They out-rebounded them by 2. Shot 13 for 20 from the foul line, did Florida State, but just dominated inside and dominated on the defensive end especially.
Good minutes out of Singleton, who knocked down the three there. B.J. Holmes blocked by Bernard James. Michael Snare.
They had 10 blocks, Florida State.
All translates to the first tourney win for the Seminoles since 1998. Boy, does this team D folks up. #1 in the country in defensive field goal percentage. They held A&M to 31% shooting. Get this stat. Of their last 103 opponents, 99 have shot 50% or under in that time. The way they get it done. Akron and Notre Dame. Big East Player of the Year, Ben Hensbrough, looking for his first tournament win as a member of the Irish.
That's how you come off the curl.
Tim Abramitis.
And that's how you kick it out.
That's right. Get your shoulder square as quick as possible.
Great execution.
And then this is something you just
That's
can't
how you
teach.
create some space.
You can't teach this.
If you can do it. Hansbrough with the three. Look at the emotion. Come on, who's with me?
He's a leader, capital L leader. Started the season, told Mike Bray, I've been to the NCAA tournament before. I want to win some games. We are going back, and that is it. And has taken ownership of this team, Ben Hansbrough has, as a freshman out of Mississippi State. And even when you do that, Tim, it doesn't matter because he's coming right back at you.
Zeke Marshall was not impressed, but Hansbrough would keep coming. Tyrone Nash to Scott Martin for the fall-away jumper as the Irish begin the second half on a 9-0 run.
Beautiful pass. Quick, turn around, get square, take the foul. It's great to see.
Their shots are so fundamental, aren't they, Steve?
Carlton's shot, it is.
They're always squared up.
And that's what you got to watch when you're watching these films of great shooters.
One of the most experienced and efficient offensive teams in the country. Can't wait to see them go up against Florida State.
And a very underrated defense.
That's exactly right. That Florida State game is going to be strength on strength. And I just think it's going to come down to whether or not Florida State can match Notre Dame's offensive firepower from the perimeter. I think Notre Dame will D them up. I think Florida State
at the top of that bracket. And look who is back for the Blue Devils. Kyrie Irving back in uniform and available for play for the first time since he injured that toe back on December 4th. First, Nolan Smith knocks down the three. And then Irving gets himself in there. Seth, you said you were a little surprised by the number of minutes Coach K played it.
Well, you know, given the fact that, number one, he hadn't played since December 4th, and number two, as of a week ago, it didn't look like he would ever be coming back. But they're not looking for him just to be a spurt guy off the bench. I think they'll want to see how good they can be, how good he can be, and it's just very fortunate for them to be able to have an overmatched opponent like Hampton where you can give him a lot of quality minutes and take some chances and mix and match. And when you got guys like Nolan Smith and Kyle Singler, the Plumleys played well today. It was kind of a glorified scrimmage for Duke, but if you're a Duke fan, you got to be obviously very happy with not just how they played, but who they played.
Yeah, they had their way, obviously, with the Pirates from Hampton, and then Irving in the second half gets his first bucket since early December.
That sums it up. The quickness is back. He's close to 100%. The only thing I'm looking at right now is when you land on your jump shots and your layups, he favored that right foot just a little bit.
Something only a shooter would pick up on.
He did, though. Smitty spotted it. He's absolutely right.
12 of his 14 points came after halftime for what that's worth. And Duke wins at 87-45. Easy day all around for Coach K and the Blue Devils. They need an opponent. It would come from either Tennessee or Michigan. Tim Hardaway Sr. there to check out his son, the Wolverine guard, and Bruce Pearl. He's in the thick of it with the Tennessee Volunteers. A lot of uncertainty surrounding his job status after this one. Tobias Harris did his part for the Vols early on. He hit their first 4 buckets.
When you talk about a guy having a feel for the game, Tobias Harris really epitomizes that for a freshman. He really has a way of scoring. He has a way of finding ways to make baskets. He just needed a lot more help than what he got from his teammates today.
You're right, Coach. Seth and Tom, you know, are you guys as surprised as I was as Tennessee could not keep anybody in front of them on the Michigan squad?
Well, they didn't compete. I mean, you think about what your Spartans did the other night against UCLA. They were down 23 points with 8.5 minutes to play. You fight. You're supposed to fight. Tennessee had absolutely no fight in them. Tobias Harris even said after the game that when that second half got ugly, they basically just quit. I mean, they're not even trying to pretend like they're running back on defense. I know, you know, Michigan has a nice transition game, but they haven't beaten anybody like this all season long. And, you know, Tennessee's been up and down, but they haven't been this far down, and that might be, well, indeed, Bruce Pearl's last walk off of a basketball court as the head coach at the University of Tennessee, and just what a sour way to end the season and possibly a tenure in Knoxville.
The Wolverines just ran roughshod over the Volunteers, 42-16 in the second half. And this turned out to be the largest margin of defeat in the Bruce Pearl era at Tennessee. Michigan also became the first to win an NCAA tournament game without a single made free throw in this game.
That's the stat of the day, by the way.
That's unbelievable.
0 for 1 from the line, and you win by 30.
By 30. There's Smitty's guy, Pac-10 Player of the Year, Derek Williams at Arizona taking on Memphis, and Coach Josh Pastner, Antonio Barton on the break, the bump, and the bucket. Memphis quick start, 10-1.
You know, you like how Memphis came out in this game. Explosion, getting to the basket, but Arizona wouldn't quit. Who is that? It's the big fella from Arizona going to get it.
Jamel Horn.
And then there's Derek Williams, stealing, scoring. He shoots 60% from 3, 60% from the field.
Everywhere.
Well, really, two of the more athletic, explosive teams in the tournament, and it really came down to Arizona had Derek Williams and Memphis didn't.
Memphis goes on a 13-0 run here. Will Coleman throws it down. Tigers up by 5. Williams on the other end, though. We were all surprised how many three-pointers he has shot this season, and he hits them at a 60% clip.
He was not a huge recruit coming out of high school, by the way. He originally committed to USC, went to Arizona when Tim Floyd left USC. There was a 5-man recruiting class, and he was considered the 5th best guy.
Wow.
Momo Jones with the bounce. Arizona up by 3. Will Barton with a steal.
Nice steal.
Misses the 3. Joe Jackson's on the case.
Athleticism again. The point guard finds a way to get the offensive rebound. Memphis just gets out and gets after people.
They do. They compete. That's all you ask for. Just come out and compete.
1-point game. Jones is fouled on the inbounds. Goes to the free throw line. He makes both of them. Arizona by 3. After the free throws, Joe Jackson fouled at half court.
Foul up 3. That's the strategy.
Makes the first, intentionally misses the second.
May have been a foul there by Horn on the rebound. A lot of people want to call for a foul on Derek Williams. That was a completely 100% clean block. And in Arizona's 2 biggest wins of the season, they both end on a Derek Williams block. And let me just add that if you're a Memphis fan, you've got to be very encouraged with the way this very young team, one of the youngest in America, finished the season, winning the Conference USA tournament, competing like heck with the way their freshmen and the young folks played. If they're able to keep this unit together, with what Josh Pastner has bringing in next year, they're going to be a real tough basketball team. They went out with a loss, but they competed with a lot of pride, and not everybody did that today.
What a day for Williams. Oakland and Texas, the other part of that top half of the bracket. Tristan Thompson, Keith Benson getting hooked up. Keith Benson for Oakland. A lot of people thought maybe he could be enough to carry Oakland past the Longhorns. Looks great in the opening minutes.
He did. I mean, 2 great plays, but Tristan Thompson said he had enough of that. 7 block shots. Also, he scored the basketball and rebounding with 17 points and 10 rebounds.
The freshman Tristan Thompson standing tall. Reggie Hamilton turnover coming up after the Thompson bucket. Hamilton turns it over. Watch the reaction from Greg Campy.
And you know what we don't see on this highlight package, but right after this exchange, Reggie Hamilton stuck out his hand and Greg Campy gave him a high five. So they compete like brothers and friends and coach and player in the heat of battle.
They worked it out. Jordan Hamilton, Jacobin Brown, 2 of his 21. Texas by 15. Oakland going to mount a comeback. Hamilton drives, hits the layup. 9-point game. And after a Larry Wright steal, he'll come down and he'll drop the 3 ball to cut it to 5. But time running out.
Larry Wright, coach.
Well, and the threes came too late, and we knew that they were going to have to make threes for Oakland to have a chance to play in this game. And Larry Wright, Reggie Hamilton, they just came at a time when the game was just a bit out of reach.
Hamilton's 3 rims out there, and then puts it away formally for the guys in burnt orange. Texas' 4th game of the season with 2 players recording double-doubles as Thompson goes 17 and 10. Hamilton goes 19 and 10.
I don't know if your boy Derek Williams is going to want any part of Tristan Thompson, by the way. I mean, Tristan Thompson can compete. Tristan Thompson actually reminds me of Tyler Hansbrough.
First up for the Buckeyes, San Antonio Roadrunners. Jared Sullinger.
Clear his face.
Just an easy day.
Walking apart around him. That's commonplace for him.
Show shot, 1 dribble, pull up, square, bingo. That's how you draw it up.
William Buford's one of the better pull-up shooters in the country. He showed it there.
Buford works with Sullinger, and then Buford working with John Diebler.
Bingo.
John Diebler's one of the better shooters on any planet. He showed it right there.
He gets square, and look at Sullinger. You just can't get around him.
He was 5 of 7 from the field in this game. Then David Lighty kicks it out to Diebler for another 3. The Buckeyes hit 12 of the 24 they tried from the great beyond.
Bit of a size advantage inside for Ohio State. I think that
Just a little.
that helps.
Ohio State cruises, 26 assists on 29 field goals, the highest percentage in any game for Ohio State in the last 10 years. And they dispatch the Roadrunners. Same side, they need an opponent. It's going to come from Villanova and George Mason. Jim Larinagas had a run before 5 years ago to the Final Four in 06. Jay Wright has had a bad run lately, 5 straight losses coming into this game, and that is Mike Morrison.
Big fella. Trying to get
Luke Hancock for the Patriots. Look at the little crossover, the body control. Smooth.
Luke. Good game shooting from the Corey's, passing there.
Maurice Sutton got the dunk.
Over to Maurice Sutton, and it looked like Villanova was playing the way they were playing back in January, not the way the late February, but unfortunately, the later the game got, the worse Villanova got.
Fisher to Stokes here. They led by 6 points with 2 minutes left, so they're in position to put this thing away, but back come the Patriots. First, it's Isaiah Tate. And then on the miss, it's Morrison with a follow slam and a quick 8-0 Patriots run gives GNU a 2-point lead. Corey Fisher's going to go to the corner at a bad foul here on a 3-point attempt. Fisher goes to the line. If he hits 3, he gives Nova the lead. And wouldn't you know it, 1, 2, and bingo, 3. Nova up by a point. Fisher had 20. Luke Hancock.
Shot of the day, shot of your Friday NCAA tournament. Cool hand Luke Hancock.
Nova's got a little time. They inbound it. Malik Waynes shows good patience here as he pauses into the paint. Whole lot of contact, no whistle. Eventually, it's a rebound and a tie-up, which gives Villanova the ball back from the baseline. And what do they run? Stokes from the corner.
No good.
Can't get it to go.
Michael Morrison.
And it's Morrison to finish off the win for George Mason.
They are excited.
And why not? George Mason wins at 61-57. They love this at-large situation they're in. Made the tournament as an at-large twice ever.